I have been asked to do a tutorial about how to do pull-ups. So pull-ups are obviously not an exercise that you can do automatically or immediately when you go ahead and try them. It takes a lot of strength, it takes a lot of practice, and it takes training certain muscle groups for strength and to carry your body weight, lifting and lowering. There are two different pull-up exercises that are familiar. One is pull-up, which is a wide grip, palms facing away from you. And then there's the chin-up, which you can do with your palms turned in and a narrow grip. Now, for most people, chin-ups are actually easier. And I tend to agree with that chin-ups tend to be a lot easier. And it's because of the positioning of the arms versus the body. Pull-ups are wide and parallel with your body, so it's a lot harder. It takes a lot more strength in the back, whereas chin-ups you can use a lot of your bicep and chest strength. It's very different strengths. So the first thing that I want to talk about are some exercises that you should do to build up the strength to be able to do pull-ups or chin-ups. Now, because pull-ups are a pulling exercise, you need to work your pulling muscles, which are the muscles in your back and in your biceps, as well as the rear shoulders, and of course your core. Core is super important for pull-ups because you have to be able to hold the center of your body to help lift you up. So, important exercises to do. If you have access to a gym, I would absolutely go to the cable pulleys and do rows with all the different hand grips. So you have the triangle grip, which is parallel and you're pulling, right? You also want to get the long bar where it's wide and pull wide and high. Those are high rows. Then you also want to go with an underhand grip pulling towards you. And with that, you want to do pyramid, where you're starting with a lighter, doable weight for high repetitions. And I always say start with the lightweight, a weight that you can get to 15 reps easily. That's your first starting point. Make sure you have a really good posture, really good positioning, and that you're engaging the muscles in the rear chain of the body, or the posterior chain. So then the next step of the pyramid for your second set is to increase the weight and decrease the reps. Second set, third set, and your fourth set should always be to failure. So even if you're doing one rep of the heaviest weight you can pull, as long as you have good form and you're not slamming the weights in, you want to make sure you have control of the weight in both phases of the exercise, that's your failure weight. As you build your strength, that failure weight will increase because your starting weight will increase. That's how you're going to build your pulling strength in the muscles of the rear delts, traps, lats, rhomboids. That's the first exercise that I absolutely recommend if you have access to a gym. If you don't have access to a gym, then what you want to do is get some TheraBands or some resistance tubing. Get resistance tubing with handles like this and attach it to a door, a table, anything that's very solid that you have that you're not going to be able to like pull over, and attach it. Don't have a very solid place here, it's just a doorknob, and do all of your grips of rows. So I'll just show you very simply here if it's going to hold. So you do your parallel grip, you do your overhand grip, and you do your underhand grip. Okay, and again, you can add to that. Now, what I would do at home, because I don't have access to machines here, is I would get my weight bar. Okay, obviously you can't do a parallel grip with a weight bar, but I can increase the work by wrapping the band around it and attaching it to a solid surface, to a solid pulling point, which my doorknob really isn't a solid pulling point, but that's what I have for now. So that, and then that's not going to work. But then you do your pulling rows like that. Now, your other option is to do a variety of single arm, double arm rows, standing bent over, okay? So you have bent over rows with the bar here. Again, you're activating your posterior chain, all those pulling muscles. There. Now, if you only have one weight, which I'll show here with this bar, pulling rows like that. You can do that with dumbbells, a kettlebell, whatever you've got available to you. Rows like that, single rows, okay? You also have your double rows. You have your overhand grip rows. So your arms are like that, and you're pulling like that. Okay? Now, those are all working the muscles for pulling. The other exercise that you want to make sure that you're working on for all of your pulling is bicep curls. Super important. Your biceps are muscles that help with any pulling action. So, obviously, you can do your classics, bicep curls. You can also do 21s where you do 7 to half, right? And then 7 to half down. I'm not even here at all on my bar. There we go, 7 down. And then all the way for 7. So that's 21s. That's going to build your bicep strength. Push-ups are vital, and also pull downs. Now, again, if you don't have access to a gym, pull downs are going to be tough. But the way you can do it is attach your tubing to a high point and then sit down on the floor and do your pull downs there. Have somebody hold it above you or something. Now, what I do at home is I have my Iron Gym pull-up bar here that I'm going to attach to my doorway. I'm going to show you. And this is going to work for the rest of our progressions here. So hopefully there's no kid noise. We'll see. But anyway, so you're going to hang your Iron Gym, which is relatively inexpensive, in the doorway. Okay, now before I even get to pull-ups, what I'm going to have you do, and I'm going to show you, depending, if you have a band like this or tubing like this, you can still work on pull downs. So I'm going to bring my chair over here under my Iron Gym. And then what I'm going to do is attach the band or the tubing to my gym, like that. Now, obviously, I'm pretty high up with this with the chair, but then what you would do, I'm going to shorten it like that. And then you simulate your pull downs here. Okay? And you're working on those lats, that lat strength. I'm going to turn around so you can see what I'm doing. Like this. Now pretend I'm sitting. And you're pulling down like that. Pulling down. Okay, now if you don't have tubing with handles, you can use a resistance band if that's all you have. Same thing. Just loop it. Pull it through. And then you have your ends and you can do your pull downs. And of course, you have two hand positions. You have your wide grip and then you have your rotated grip in front. Now, obviously, this is simulating your chin up and this is your pull up. So that's important for you to practice as well as you build up your strength for pull ups or chin ups. So the other important thing that I want you to start working on to develop the strength for pull ups, as I said, is core strength. So another another key exercise that's going to work on two factors that you need for pull-ups or chin-ups. One is core strength, as I said, and the other is grip strength, because you need to strengthen up the hands and the muscles in the wrists and forearms to be able to hold yourself up and continue to pull up and drop down without totally letting go or cramping in your hands. So in order to develop grip strength and core strength at the same time, you're going to do hanging knee raises. Now you can do that either in your chin up hand position, which is this, or in your wide grip for your pull-ups. Now I tend to do both because I need to practice both positions. So I'll show you a couple in each. So you're going to grab wide first for your pull-up position. And what you're going to do is if it's high up in the air like at the gym, they usually are, you have to jump up and grab it. So you're going to grab. Then what you do is make sure that your shoulders aren't up in your ears. You want to pull your shoulders down away from your ears so your neck is nice and long. And right away in that position, you're locked down into your lat muscles down here in the back. The other thing that will happen once you lock into your lats is your core is going to engage. They work simultaneously, so it's impossible to have a good lat connection and a bad core connection. They both work together. So once you connect down into your lats, then you're ready. You just hang there, bend the knees, trying not to swing. You're going to lift your knees up and down. Now my floor is right down here. I mean, I'm standing right there. So I kind of have to cheat it a little bit here to do them, but lock into the lats, and then as many as you can do, release, shake out your hands, switch your grip, and you're going to do the same thing in this grip. And now, I'm going to do it with my elbows bent so that I'm working my biceps also. Biceps locked into the lats, and then your knees are lifting and lowering. Good. And you can see that once your core is engaged like that, it's super solid. And what that's going to help you do is lift up all the weight of your lower body. So when you're pulling up, it doesn't feel like you're trying to lift a Mack truck. Which it can feel like if you're very tired or you're weak. Sometimes pull-ups feel extremely heavy. So the next progression, as you continue working towards pull-ups, is to get assistance bands if you don't have access to a Gravitron or a pull-up assist machine. So I have 3 different bands. I bought them as a set. They're 3 different resistance levels. And so the first one here is this big, thick green one that's actually 120 pounds of resistance. Now I'm about 136 pounds. So when I use this, I'm technically going to only be lifting about 16 pounds, which for a beginner is a lot. So this is how you do it. You loop it on to your iron gym. Now see how short that is. What you're going to have to do is stretch it down. Now you can get a bench to stand on. I have one, but I'm not going to get it. Get a bench, stand on it, and then place your foot in. So it's going to look like this. You put your foot in it. I'm going to go into a pull-up grip. So now once you have your foot in it, you can press it down pretty much all the way to the ground. You can have 1 foot in or 2 feet in. Now, again, like I said, this is 120 pounds of resistance. So I'm technically only going to be lifting about 16 pounds of my own weight because the band is giving me 120 pounds. So this is what it'll look like. You get yourself in a position, good posture, core connection, even though now I'm just hanging here, but I'm in good posture. And then you're going to lift and lower down. And lift, squeeze your back and lower down. Now this is pretty light and pretty easy, but this is a good way to get started. Okay, I'm going to switch to my chin up grip. And I'm going to do the same thing. Try to extend as much as possible and then now what I like about using these bands is it's going to teach you how to lift from a dead hang, meaning your body is straight. You see a lot of people at the gym doing a kip, and I'll show you what that is, and I do it too because, well, frankly, I'm not strong enough to do completely unassisted pull-ups as much as I'd like to. I can do about 4 or 5, and then I have to kip like crazy to get myself up. But this is what a kip looks like, and you'll see people doing this, is that they use their knees to help, which what that's doing is giving you momentum, and it's also helping you to contract your core to help lift you up. It's not incorrect, it's fine. But what the bands are going to do is help you go into a pull-up from a dead hang. So the next level band I have is the purple one, and it's 80 pounds of resistance. So if I can do the math, that means I'll be lifting about 55 pounds of my own weight. So again, same setup. Put the foot in. I'll need my other leg this time. Start with my pull-up grip. And here I go. Strong core, locked into my lats, and we go up. Now it's a lot more challenging. Yeah, good. Then I switch to my chin-up grip. Connect, and go. Good. And then I'm going to release it. So that was about 55 pounds of my own body weight. The last band I have is 30 pounds of resistance. So now I'm going to be lifting about 105 pounds of my own weight. Now you can see it's a progression. So you have to start lifting light, just like with dumbbells with doing bicep curls or doing squats with a weight on your back. You have to progress slowly to get there. It's a strength exercise. It also takes muscle endurance and all that good stuff. So take your time to learn how to do it properly. You're going to take this last thin band. You're going to do the same deal. Let's see how it goes. Core connected, shoulders down into the lats. And we go up. Good, now I'm going to switch my grip. I'm only doing these in 3s right now, but, again, The light resistance, I would try to do as many reps as I can. Switch to the next level. You're going to do fewer repetitions because it's harder. With this one, even fewer repetitions because it's harder. Then after this band, we're going to go with no band and see how many repetitions we can do, if any. So what you're going to do now, 3 chin-ups. Here we go. Good. Okay. So then I'm going to ditch the band. Now, another quick thing that you can learn how to do is just holding yourself and do negatives, which is another way to train your muscles how to do the exercise itself. Basically, a negative means you're starting at the top of the exercise and going backwards to the beginning of the exercise. So instead of starting down, you're going to start up. So I'm going to go up. This is where you'd start, and then you practice negatives. Here. You can get up on a bench, start up there, and then drop your feet. But you want to start here. Squeeze and hold as long as you can. And then slowly lower down. Jump up and hold. And then lower down. Same thing with your chin-ups. You're going to grab, jump up and hold it as long as you can. Make sure you're breathing, not holding your breath. Here we go. Trying not to swing. I know I'm swinging a lot. And then slowly lower down. Again. Slowly lower down. Again, do as many of those as you can. Your muscles are going to fatigue. Now, I've been doing this for almost 17 minutes, so my muscles are pretty tired, but what I want to do is show you a couple of each if I can be successful. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to start with chin-ups because those are my best. So, we're going to go. Set it up. Let's see how it goes. Starting from a dead hang. I'm going to go. Lock in my shoulders. And 1, 2, 3. See, I had to kip on that last one. I'm tired, so. And I'm fighting a cold, so don't hold it against me. Last ones. Pull-ups, shoulders down, and you're going to go. These are not good. I'm tired. I'm going to kip. Here we go. And rest. Now that was a failure rep, meaning I couldn't get all the way up, but I tried. I held my muscles as best as I could, connected in, and then dropped down to the bottom. You're going to have those failure reps, and that's okay. That's how your muscles are going to learn. You're going to build on top of the last time you did it. So for my cycle of my 8-day workout cycle, I only do 2 pulling days out of 8 days. So 2 days out of 8 days, I'm doing pull exercises. I'm doing pull-ups, I'm doing chin-ups, I'm doing rows, I'm doing all that stuff. Only twice out of every 8 days. Now you may choose to do more, but I don't necessarily recommend it because you do need to let those muscles recover. The shoulders, back, biceps, core, they're all large muscle groups, and they do need recovery time so that you can build strength and build muscle. So if you have any other questions, please let me know. I can tell you the brand of bands I have or whatever you need. Ask me any questions. Thank you.